That's Eric. This is James. I'm Bobby, and this is InfoFrag.
And this week we are talking about Fate Reforged, the newest set of Magic the Gathering. And it is the second set of the Khans of Tarkir block. Got some very cool cards in here that we're going to talk about. Just go over some of our favorites, where we think they're going to see play, and just some general things like that.
All right, before we get into it, I'd like to say we have a Facebook. So check us out on Facebook. Our name is InfoFrag, as you know. So like us on Facebook and subscribe to us here, because that would be awesome.
All right.
So let's get into it.
Just, a quick note before we start on the cards. Last week we talked about our most anticipated games of 2015. So I want to add, I totally forgot to talk about Metal Gear Solid 5. That game looks absolutely incredible. Just quickly throwing that in. I don't want anybody to think I'm retarded. And also, we've seen there's a couple. The Order comes out tomorrow on PS4, and that was our first episode was about The Order, and it looks like it's not good. So,
Unfortunately, we're not gonna waste our money to review it. So there's copious amounts of reviews online.
So if you guys want to check out, go and check out the YouTubes and go check out IGN, GameSpot. They'll have reviews up. Apparently, the general consensus is it is a very, very nice, polished piece of crap, like I was saying before. Basically a lot of downtime, a lot of cutscenes.
It's a movie.
Not much gameplay, and the characters are boring as hell, and it's apparently really short. So, I mean, if any of you guys get it, let us know what you think personally. I'd like to see some other opinions as well. And I guess we'll jump into it then.
Hey, well, maybe when it gets a little bit cheaper, we can review it. Like, I'm going to pick it up for $20. And then it'll be
maybe
2 years from now.
Yeah, so we'll review The Order in 2 years.
And maybe it'll get better.
And I highly doubt it. All right.
It's better now.
Who wants to start?
All right, so I'll kick it off. The first things I wanted to talk about are the 5 sieges. 5 sieges. We have Monastery Siege, Palace Siege, Frontier Siege.
Siege.
What did I say? Siege?
You said Palace Siege.
Did I?
Steve.
I apologize. Monastery Siege, my bad. Frontier Siege, Citadel Siege, Outpost Siege, and that is it.
That's all 5.
Yeah. Let's start with Citadel Siege. We have, as Citadel Siege enters the battlefield, choose Khans or Dragons. Khans, at the beginning of your combat of your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, or Dragons, at the beginning of your combat on each opponent's turn, tap target creature that player controls. What do you think?
Citadel Siege, well, all right, the siege cycle is very cool. They're not all good, though. Citadel Siege is one of the ones that is not very good.
Yeah.
It's great and limited. Pretty much all the sieges are really good and limited. Like, if you open them during a draft or sealed, they're pretty good. Like, Citadel Siege, putting 2 +1/+1s on a dude, because, limited's all about creature combat, so you just want to have the biggest guy smashing the other dude. But overall, Citadel Siege is pretty lackluster. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the most playable ones is the Monastery, the Frontier, and the Outpost, I believe.
That's the red one.
Yes. I think those are the 3 most playable ones in the format right
Monastery Siege, I feel, is really good.
Well, hold on. Before you go into it, Monastery Siege is Khans, at the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card, then discard a card. Dragons, spells your opponents cast that target you or a permanent you control cost 2 more to cast.
And is
amazing.
It is a 3-drop enchantment.
It is a 3-drop. That makes it very good.
2 colorless, 1 blue.
So, Monastery Siege, I really like for EDH, like Commander.
Mm-hmm. I think it could be a standard as well.
Well, it definitely can be a standard card. Maybe not now. Maybe once rotation. It's definitely a good draw engine, and kind of fuels your whole Dell thing, gets those cards going. But I like it for Commander. There's a lot of Commanders that really like the ability to not only draw another card, but dump a card in the graveyard every turn. Really enable you to do some things, and then also the whole countering things. Or no, they cost 2 more to cast on your stuff. That's pretty sweet too. But yeah, that is probably my favorite one out of all of them.
Moving on to Palace Siege. Palace Siege is 3 colorless and 2 black. Khans, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Dragons, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Coming from my perspective, I play a mono black commander deck, and I wouldn't say this is like a deal breaker, but I like it. I think it's pretty good. I think being able to return the life for me is whatever. Being able to return a creature card, since as you know, my mono black commander deck is heavily based on my how many creatures I can get as my board state and like keeping them. So losing them is pretty devastating to my deck. So being able to bring them back even to my hand, I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
If it costs a little bit less.
Yeah, this is a 5-drop, so it's 3 black to cast this card. The thing about Palace Siege, this is probably the best one in Limited. Like, if you open this in Draft or Sealed and you play this card, you are very likely going to win because, like I said, Limited is all about, especially this Limited, you're literally just taking the biggest dudes you can and you're just throwing them at them. And if they kill your guy, like your biggest guy, this just lets you bring it back every single turn, puts it right back in your hand, you get to play it. Or even the Dragons mode is very powerful and Limited because you just need that clock to burn them out,
True. Moving on from that, we have Outpost Siege. This costs 3 colorless and 1 red. Cons, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library until the end of turn. You may play that card. Dragons, whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, Outpost Siege deals 1 damage to target creature or player. I hate red. So
I'm right there with you.
So no, I would not ever use this because I never use red. I think dealing 1 damage is like
underwhelming.
See, a weenie. The thing about Outpost Siege is I also pretty much hate red. The only time I play red is if maybe I'm splashing it in Modern or something. But Outpost Siege, for the decks that you put this card in, the cons mode is fantastic because it essentially says, like for your decks that are playing a lot of burn, a lot of cheap things, be drawing an extra card
and being
that you can play
burn,
because red has no good card draw pretty much. That's always one of the problems is, they get these great starts, these really fast opening hands, and then they just lose gas and they just lose in the mid to late game. So Outpost Siege really helps with this. I remember there was a game, I think I was playing it at F&M, and the guy managed to get 2 of these things out.
Outpost Sieges?
Yeah, against because I play Control, so I really didn't care about the creature one, but of course he didn't do that. He played him on cons and was just getting a massive amount of card advantage, so it is very good for that kind of deck. The Dragons mode, I think, is just flat out not good.
This is in Standard. Someone played this against you?
Yeah. Yeah, they're playing it. They're playing it in like the red-white Bernie aggro decks
with the tokens.
Yeah, or some of the token builds are just because it's basically, how like Chandra does the same thing for her 0. You get to exile and cast. Except this is much harder to kill in Standard because it's an enchantment as opposed to a planeswalker that you can just attack. Yeah. So yeah, the red one, like I said, I personally don't like red. You don't like red. Like it's poop color.
I feel like. I can use this. I run Marchesa and EDH, and this would almost be usable if it got the 2 damage instead of the 1.
Yeah.
Because Perforos is just so much better. You can just use Perforos in the place.
Yep,
absolutely.
True. What's Perforos's cost?
4. He is 3 red, 3 and a red. Sorry.
So he's the same thing.
He is the same thing, but he is
he's
better if you're going to use that.
He's also indestructible.
I was gonna say,
and he can buff all your dudes.
Even better.
And be a big ass creature if you need him to be.
Good.
He is very good.
So, moving on to the final siege, which is personally my favorite. It is Frontier Siege. It's green, 3 colorless, 1 green. Cons, at the beginning of each of your main phases, that's 2, add 2 green to your mana pool. Dragons, whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. But who cares about dragons? Because cons, oh my gosh, it's so good.
For the kind of deck for green, yeah, like
That's but okay.
Just that is very good.
EDH too.
EDH, yeah.
For your Omnoth decks,
Oh my god.
Omnoth or Crewfix, just getting that extra mana to just throw at something is very good, especially if you have a way to make sure you use all of it. I do really like cons. The Dragons mode is terrible. Like
there's no
Dragons
reason.
mode is so
No
niche
reason to use
and
it.
specific that I never really see that being a thing. I mean, if any of you disagree with me, tell me, because personally I think it's trash. But
yeah, I mean, is there any green commanders that build themselves around flying creatures?
No.
It's
really.
all flavor. That card is all flavor.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And I don't see dragons becoming a like a thing,
Like a thing, yeah.
like ever in standard.
Yeah, I know.
It's so many people like
want
they
it
were
to
like,
be.
yo, I'm
I
gonna
don't-
build like standard dragons, and I'm gonna play that big
All
dude.
my dragons are 5 drops.
They're gonna. Are you? Any of you gonna talk about any of the dragons in this set? There's only one that I like at all that I'm gonna mention.
I don't have any.
Are you gonna talk about any?
I didn't have it on the list.
Okay, well, because I'm gonna say that one, the green-red one, the one that's like 5 green,
Oh, yeah.
red, with his dragons you control, like double strike or somebody has flying. I'm like, yeah, sure, the guy swings for 12 or 14 or whatever it is. I don't remember what his power levels are, but you just kill him. Like,
Yeah,
there's so much removal and everything in standard. Like, this the fact that people think they're gonna get to play that card and then untap and attack with it.
And do good.
You know, if you do, you should win. But man, that's
Silumgar though, the Demir one.
that's the only one that I'll just go right to that.
There we go.
Silumgar, the Drifting Death. I do like this card a lot, and I feel it will be much better once we lose some of the cards for the black-blue control, black-blue based control decks that are in standard right now. Personally, I like Pearl Lake more because Pearl Lake, while it doesn't have hexproof, you get to reuse your utility lands, and it has flash. Flash is huge. It also is a 6/7 as opposed to a 3/7 like Silumgar is, but there are definitely arguments to be made where Silumgar, he just, he takes out Elspeth, he
and the
takes out all
hexproof
the
makes
tokens.
it hard to deal with.
Yeah, he takes out all the tokens. It's very, definitely out of the dragon cycle, the most playable without a doubt.
Okay, cool. I'm coming from a strictly commander EDH format. I don't play standard. I don't play modern. Whatever the other ones, vintage, legacy. I don't even know. But I don't play them because I don't know. I don't find it fun to have to keep rotating my decks. I like building on a deck and just keep going. Since there's 100 cards, I really like that. So I have a EDH deck based around Experiment Craj. And I want to talk about Timur Sabertooth. I think that's how you pronounce it. Timur Sabertooth. He costs 2 colorless and 2 green. He's a 3/4, and you return. You can pay 1 colorless and 1 green to return creature card or creature you control to your hand. He gains indestructible to the end of turn, and if you know what Kraj does, he can gain activated abilities of your creatures if your creatures have a 1/1 counter on them, and he also can give a 1/1 counter. So you give Timur Sabertooth a 1/1 counter. You can bounce any creature from your field to your hand and give Experiment Craj indestructible. One, I think that's awesome because Experiment Craj is your commander, so you want to do as much as you can to keep him on the field. 2, board wipes. People board wipe all the time in EDH, so as James knows because he does it constantly, if someone board wipes, you don't lose everything. You can at least keep your commander and 1 other creature. So, say you got something really good out on the field, even that one.
Well, if you have the mana, you could save everything.
Yeah.
If you have, you could do that.
You could do that multiple times.
Yes.
That's fantastic. That's even better. I need that even more now. That's okay. Experiment Craj, Timur Sabertooth. He should be like a staple. It's so good.
That's pretty good. Just for that kind of deck, yeah, it's pretty
That's
good. As
awesome.
far as standard or anything else goes, I don't think that guy is gonna see much play.
Probably not.
Who knows? Maybe.
Which I think is great since it'll keep his cost low, meaning I can get it because I have not bought any Fate Reforged yet, unfortunately.
I guess let's go to Bobby.
Let's go.
I have a list too. I was actually because I'm making a manifest, a really janky manifest deck, and I was considering using the Sabertooth actually because he brings your manifest cards back to your hand and then you can reuse them. That's cool. As other creatures.
If you flip something that you never wanted to flip. I mean, if you manifest something you never wanted to manifest,
like a spell or
a planeswalker
or an instant or anything. But what's also in the deck is Whisperwood, and it completely revolves around him. I feel like Whisperwood is a card that hasn't been used to his full potential yet, and he doesn't have the ability to be used at the moment.
I feel like after rotation, this guy's going to be a house.
Yeah, I feel like... Well, I played him last week a little bit. I mean, Manifest kind of gets trampled by burn at the moment, because you just burn out their creatures.
Yeah, really the 2/2,
Yeah, but... When you put him on the field, like he's really hard to deal with.
What's he do again?
He's a 5-drop.
He's a
3
5 drop.
green.
He's like a 4.
He's 4/4, I think.
Let's see if I can look him up.
He's a 4/4. He's a mythic. He's green mythic.
And he at the end of your
Wait, what?
at the beginning of
What's
your
his name?
end step, the Wildwood
Go all the way to the top.
Oh,
or Whisperwood.
Yeah, Whisperwood Elemental, and at the
No, he's not.
he's not there.
Oh,
Okay.
Keep talking.
At the end,
find
at
it.
the
End of-
at your end step, you
yep.
get to manifest the top card of your library. So you drop him as a 4/4, and then he immediately makes a 2/2 at the end of your turn. So you already get value out of him.
Mm-hmm.
But then his second ability is you can sacrifice him, and until end of turn, anytime a creature you control dies.
Any face up.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you
yeah.
get to manifest.
You get to manifest a card. So, speaking of, board wipes, if you get board wiped, you can sack that guy in response
And you get manifests
get a bunch
for
of
all
2/2s.
face-ups.
So somebody can waste a board wipe and they get smacked in the face. There he is, right there.
There it is.
Ideally.
Ideally, yes, hopefully. Because most people aren't going to just play into that. But it
Yeah.
at least stops them from board wiping you until they have a better opportunity to do it. So you get some time definitely out of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
looks really cool.
I do like that card a lot. Raymond Swanlin drew him.
He did.
Yeah.
Raymond Swanland.
Yep. He is
If you are watching this, Raymond Swanland, you are probably my favorite artist in Magic.
I'm sure he's watching this.
He should be. Why isn't he?
His art is so spiky.
It's
If you don't know who it
everything is orange-ish and spiky.
Except
and,
for the wild.
well,
I keep saying Wildwood.
A couple of them aren't. Well, yeah.
He's from New Jersey.
Oh.
He's a Wildwood elemental. He lives on the beach.
So stupid.
He's just chilling.
All right. Anyway, speaking of board wipes, I'm going to talk about. This is probably my second favorite card in the set. Is Crux of Fate. Somebody like I'm a control player, so a board wipe is. I just love board wipes. I love black board wipes especially, and I'm sure you do too.
I wish I had them. I wish they weren't $50.
What?
Crux
No.
isn't.
Yeah, yeah.
No, this is one more mana for like a worse damnation, so it's like $3. But
Yeah.
but no, Crux of Fate I really like. It also works if we ever get like right now I'm not running into the Dragon Selimgar, but nice synergy there. He's a dragon, so you can just nuke all non-dragon creatures.
Unless someone runs a dragon deck,
yeah,
then you're screwed.
There have actually, I remember the first week that this was in standard, and I'm playing bug control, and I was playing against the red-white aggro deck, and the guy, I was so stupid because I forgot that Crux was either or. I just thought it was a Wrath. I was like, oh, 5 mana, kill everybody, yeah. And then so I'm sitting there. The guy plays a Stormbreath Dragon. He has 3 tokens on the field already, and he plays a Stormbreath Dragon. And I had mana up for Dissolve, and I let it happen. And I was like, I got this Crux. It's just gonna die next turn anyway. Ha ha ha. And then I read it again.
You still killed
and I got
the
really
dragon.
I got really sad then because I was like, crap. I just lost the game because I didn't read the damn card. And such is life. But anyway, yeah, I love Crux of Fate.
Very good.
Love me some blackboard wipes.
And they have that cool. The foils are like they have the reverse foil. That
I still
shows
haven't
both.
seen one.
You haven't seen it at all?
No.
It shows the cons and the dragons of Tarkir on the same card. Like it's foily.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
All right, moving on. What is your commander that works off the graveyard? I forgot it.
Carador?
Is that it? It's
Yes.
the one that like you put things and then like as many creature cards are in your graveyard, you
Carador.
like okay.
Yeah, he costs 1 less to cast, and then
Yeah. Okay, what do you think about not a game ender, but Grave Strength? It costs 1 colorless and 1 black. Choose target creature, put the top 3 cards of your deck into your graveyard, and then that target creature that you chose gets +1/+1 per creature card in your graveyard. So if you have a bunch,
is that an instant or something?
No,
Or
it's a
was it-
sorcery.
yeah.
It's sorcery?
Yeah.
So like one, it helps your graveyard. 2,
I
it
would
can pump a creature. And it costs
like-
1 and 1 black.
in Carador, I would not play that.
No?
No, absolutely
not?
not. Carador, you want to run like a lot of utility creatures, just things that you can recur. You want to try and limit your like instants and sorceries and enchantments, everything.
And he's not.
things that-
Carador is not as smacky either.
No,
Like,
yeah,
I feel like
you don't
that's
really-
like a make your guys big and hit people deck.
I mean, the putting the 3 in the grave's nice, but like I have much better ways to do that already.
Do you think Grave Strength has a place then in at least Commander?
I think he
Not-
might have a
I don't-
place. It
I
might
don't
have a place
think
in
it-
standard.
Yeah, I don't think it has a place in Commander. I
Okay.
feel like
Okay.
all of these cards that enable your graveyard, like they're all something that you can play around with in Standard right now because of how big of a thing Delve is, and like possibly even other formats. We saw all the Delve cards just broke every other format, and they had to get, Treasure Cruise had to get banned, Dig Through Time had to get banned, all this stuff. But yeah, that definitely has potential. I just don't think it's. I didn't look at it and I was like, whoa,
Speaking of Delve, Temporal Trespass.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this card to get busted.
Yeah.
But
because-
Commander, again, all my thoughts are coming from Commander.
well,
Commander in blue,
this
it
card
only
is-
costs 3 blue pretty much.
This card's fantastic in Commander. Like, it's just another Time Walk. It's,
If you don't know what it is, it costs 8 colorless and then 3 blue. It has Delve, and
take an extra
you
turn,
take an extra turn.
but then you exile it. You
Yes.
cannot. You
Okay.
cannot. You
No, you
cannot
can't-
flashback.
Right.
No.
Temporal Trespass. So like people like to do that with Time Walk, where they'll play Time Walk and then they'll just get it back and get
Yeah.
infinite turns in Commander because they're giant assholes. And but yeah, Temporal Trespass is just another. It's a fair Time Walk that you cannot recur. And I'm all for it.
I don't know
like
about in
this card a lot.
standard though.
No, I don't think.
it would only be somewhat viable in like a mono blue because of the 3.
Yeah,
The 3
I
blue.
mean-
it'd be really hard. To
And
get.
there isn't really, honestly, when you think about taking an extra turn in standard, like, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I get to attack you again and maybe play another guy.
But you feel like
which
it's going to be used.
I don't feel like.
In what did you say? What formats?
I don't know. I don't know. The Commander definitely, but I don't know if this has. Personally, I feel this totally could see play in possibly Legacy, something like that.
Legacy?
A 3 mana. I mean, it's a 3 mana Time Walk is like it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It is, but it is blue. But every Legacy deck plays blue, or else you're dying. So I don't know. I think it's pretty sweet.
Who knows?
Did you guys have anything else?
Yeah.
I have
keep going.
as well.
So save that last one for me. You go. You can
That
keep
last
going.
one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not going down the list.
All
I'm
right.
just- I have Shamanic Revelation. I think that's pretty awesome. I'm surprised it's not.
Yep.
I feel like it could be used in standard, though. I don't think it has the right thing again to be used in.
I agree. This card seems really strong.
But it is really good. Like,
It is.
I feel like it replaces a lot of similar cards in Commander. I don't know them off the top of my head, but there's a lot that do very similar effects, and this costs less than them. And you also get the card draw as well.
For those unfamiliar, Shamanic Revelation. I think it's 3 and a green. It's a sorcery.
3 and
I think it's 3 and a green. I think so.
it's
but
not,
it's
not too bad.
It's
I
a
think, it might
sorcery.
be 3 and 2 green.
It's a sorcery, and you draw a card for each creature you control, and then it has Ferocious. You gain 4 life for each
creature.
you
Power
control
4 or
with
greater.
power 4 or greater. Yes,
So 3 and 2 green.
3
and
and 2
green.
green. Okay,
Yes.
so that's worse, but still
But it's still
very powerful because
Card draw.
effects like this are always really strong in green. Like those ones where they're like, I don't know, just drawing cards for creatures you
when the
control.
point of your
anything
deck
like
is to dump creatures on the battlefield, you're gonna want the draw to refill your hand.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. No,
And-
I feel this is very strong.
Yeah, especially I put it in my Experiment Garage deck. So you're giving counters to your guys.
Yeah.
You want a lot of guys out there, so you're trying to protect them. And
If you play tokens,
You get-
and,
Also-
and EDH.
If you're playing,
Yeah.
in EDH, if you're playing green, you should be playing Eternal Witness. And any card like this that you can cast over and over again with
Yeah.
Eternal Witness is retarded.
Yep,
It's super
there you
good.
go.
Yeah.
what's Eternal
Yep.
Witness?
It brings
it's
things back from
one
the
green
graveyard.
When you play it, you get to return a card from your graveyard to your hand.
Okay.
So like you can just,
Yeah, keep
that back.
keep doing it.
which
Yeah.
seems good.
That's great.
Yeah, her with a sack outlet is pretty busted. If you just get to keep playing her, and then that's what I do in Carador is if I get something in my graveyard that's not a creature, I just find Eternal Witness and I get it all back. That's fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. All right.
Did you want to?
Do you have anything else before we talk about the very obvious one?
I do.
Let's
I want to know what your guys' opinion on the dash ability, because I think it's pretty cool. Put on the right cards. Right now, there's
there's nothing on
there's like 1/1s with a dash ability.
The,
but if you put a dash ability on something,
if you put a dash ability on something with an enter the battlefield effect,
That's busted.
I think-
don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they'll- I don't think they'll
I don't think
ever.
they ever will.
that should happen.
I
They probably
Just
won't.
put-
but
let's make Thrag.
Well, it's kind of like
let's
Evoke then.
let's
It's
make-
very similar to Evoke,
Let's make
except it doesn't
Thrag
die.
Tusk with dash.
Let's do it.
So that makes
No.
lots of
Are you
sense.
listening, wizards?
Wizards, Thrag Tusk dash for 1 colorless.
No, but it is very similar to
Just,
Evoke.
but no, I think put on the right card, it's pretty good.
No, absolutely. Dash, I feel it's a mechanic that when you look at it, it has so much potential to be crazy.
But right
But
now,
right now,
It
it's
does not
good.
much.
It's very balanced. I feel like it's one of the few times where like a mechanic came out and it wasn't either garbage or broken. Like dash, I feel is very balanced. I feel it's something that, you know, it does what you want it to do. There's nothing absurd happening with it yet. The best one is probably the red-black dragon that you can kind of use to keep hitting them and like have them not die or something. I don't know, but no, I think it's pretty cool.
Cool.
I think it's a cool thing.
All right. Oh, if you don't know what dash is, it's you cast it for the dash cost. It gains haste and it gets returned to your hand at the end of turn. So, you know, if you got a big smacky, I know they don't have it yet. I don't think so. But if you have a big smacky, say you even have a 6/6,
big smacky.
That's for 1. His dash cost.
Yeah,
is 1.
no, but so his dash cost. I don't know. Is 5 black. you know, you pay 5 black. He comes out as a 6/6. You smack him for 6, and you get it back.
Yeah, big Blackie smacky.
That sounds like the worst card in the world. Big
Okay.
Blackie. Can they name it that? Big Blackie smacky. Black.
New unset card, please.
No, just in the next set, just Big Blackie smacky. Okay. Legendary
Well,
Blackie.
legendary Blackie.
creature Blackie.
Okay.
All right. Do you have anything else before we talk about him?
His creature type is Blackie. No, I don't.
Okay.
Go
All
ahead.
right. So obviously the actually wait, there's another card.
What?
Monastery Mentor. I'm surprised
Is
nobody talked about Monastery Mentor.
There's obvious good ones, but I was just going for...
Well, this personally, I really want to toy around with in Modern because
okay.
I really like black-white tokens in Modern. I think that's a really cool deck. For those of you unfamiliar with black-white tokens, basically you just play a bunch of cards like Lingering Souls, Spectral Procession, Intangible Virtue, things that make cheap flyers and a lot of them, and then you just beat people to death. You play Hand Disruption and Path to Exile and get rid of their bigger threats
cool
and stuff.
That because you're playing all that crap and you're also getting tokens and
now,
he's
what
getting bigger.
Monastery Mentor does, he's 2 colorless and a white for a 2/2. He has Prowess, so whenever you play a non-creature spell, he gets +1/+1 till end of turn. But whenever you play a non-creature spell, you also make a 1/1 token with Prowess. So in the black-white token shell in Modern, I feel like playing maybe like 3-4 of this guy as your only creature would be crazy because you know you figure you play him and then you get to like play Lingering Souls and flash back Lingering Souls
and having all the spells you just
and just everything that you make makes tokens and then makes more tokens off of him and buffs everything. I just think that sounds really cool and I need to pick up some of them. They're pretty expensive right now.
But not terribly expensive.
Yeah, like $20 or something.
Yeah.
But regardless, I really like that card specifically for that reason. A lot of people were talking about him possibly playing Legacy. I think they might be on drugs. I don't think we'll see him in Legacy, especially with cards like Young Pyromancer around. But obviously
leads us to
obviously the biggest card of the set is Googan. Googan the Spirit Dragon is my personal favorite card of the set. I'm sure it's a lot of people's favorite cards of the set. This guy is fantastic. Is an 8-drop Planeswalker, 8 colorless mana. You could throw him in any deck forever, just like Karn. And speaking of which, I'm sure he'll be in Tron right alongside Karn. But +2 is Lightning Bolt. Deals 3 damage to target creature or player. -X. You get to exile each permanent that is 1 or more colors, so it doesn't hit lands. It does say permanents, though. Permanents that are 1 or more colors that cost X or less are exiled, and then his -7, or -10, sorry.
Yep.
Oh my god, that'd be ridiculous. But -10, you draw 7 cards, gain 7 life, and you can put up to 7 permanents from your hand onto the battlefield. And he starts at 7 loyalty. So this guy basically my experience with this card is you play it
and then you win.
Yeah, literally, if they don't have a counter for this guy or they don't have the downfall, or if they, like I'm playing it in bug control, so I'll usually play this guy when I have 11 mana or something, play them, and then they attempt to downfall it, and I counter their downfall, and they get really sad. And literally this guy, there was a game I remember where I jacked a guy's Courser with my Ashiok, like I stole his Courser, and when I put it on my side of the field, I flipped a Googan on top, and he scooped. The other player was like, all right, I can't do anything, and he scoops, because he's literally that.
You can't.
God
you can't deal with
forbid
him.
you have to sit across from one of these in limited. I remember when we did the pre-release.
Oh yeah. You win as well.
Like, he played Ugin. It was like, okay? Like, you can't do anything because all they do
Unless
is wipe your board.
You had a big Blackie smacky.
With dash,
It dashed in. Yeah.
All right, so big Blackie Smacky needs to be a 7/7 with dash, so you could just kill
you
Ugin.
can kill Ugin.
Or, I mean, a 9/9, so that you can kill Ugin after a plus,
Yeah.
and that'll be a good card.
Yep.
But yeah, he's so oppressive. He just comes down, wipes your whole board, and just punches you in the face with a lightning bolt, and you lose. So yeah, he's very good. Very cool.
That's
All
it.
right. So that's it for Fate Reforged. Also want to touch on, there is no more details about Magic Origins. I know we said we might talk about that. There is nothing else out about that. But we did get an announcement of this year's From the Vault, which personally I'm very excited about.
Yes.
We have From the Vault Angels coming out, and for those of you who don't know, I have a page of Restoration Angels in the front of
You mean
my
a
binder.
passion?
A what?
A passion for angels. A passion
A
of
page.
a passion.
Okay.
He has a passion for angels.
You're dumb.
No.
Okay, so yeah, it's 15. For those unfamiliar with From the Vault, it's 15 cards, right?
Is it?
15.
Are they always 15 cards?
I'm pretty sure it's 15 cards, and they're foiled in a special From the Vault way, and they have alternate art. Some of them. You usually get a bunch of really powerful cards. They retail for like $35, but depending on what's in them, like we had From the Vault 20 was retailing for like $200 because they put Jace the Mind Sculptor in it. So hopefully nothing like
It's
that
not
happens.
$200 anymore.
Yeah, well, whatever. But hopefully something like that doesn't happen where I can get this for $35.
Okay, if they don't have Avacyn in this, there's something wrong.
Yeah. Well, Angels that
I don't
I'm
get it.
hoping for, I'm
Because
hoping for Avacyn.
If it's like Annihilation, then
I mean, Annihilation wasn't awful. It was still kind of cool. But Avacyn would be cool. Iona would be sweet.
oh,
Baneslayer Angel.
those
like,
are the ones they're not gonna have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
those are really cool.
They're gonna have
Those
like,
aren't gonna be
They're gonna
there.
have all those ones that came in the terrible intro decks.
What was
in
the? They showed
Innistrad.
one picture of one, and
I
that
have
looked really cool.
No idea what that might be.
Is
maybe,
it new?
Maybe Serenity. Maybe
can't do
it had
new.
2 swords, so maybe it's Serenity.
Ooh,
Or I don't know.
new art frame.
It looked really cool.
Really
though.
sweet.
It does look really
Yeah.
sweet. All right. So anything else about Magic for this week?
That's it.
All right. So
I'm gonna close it out. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of InfoFrag. Please like, subscribe, rate, like our Facebook. It means a lot. You guys are awesome.
And next week,
And next week we're gonna talk about our first episode of music. Yay! We're gonna talk about our top 5 underrated artists.
We don't have
This is all
streamers.
opinions. So I'm gonna talk about my top
mine are
5,
facts.
his facts, and Bobby's opinions.
I have facts.
Mine
too.
are
And,
my
um,
opinions are facts. That's how it works. But
We'll
so yeah, we're each going to give a list of our 5 most not most underrated, but just artists we feel are generally very underrated, and just give you some opinions on them, maybe some clips, and yeah.
some video clips.
What? Oh, I don't care. Maybe.
Awesome. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Talk.
Go ahead. Go ahead and talk.
Go ahead. Talk.
Go ahead.
Talk.
Talk.
This is much
Doc.
louder than my normal speaking voice.